Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video I'll be going through my tips from round 1 as well as going through and tipping for round 2 of the AFL season. So let's jump into it. Now, the first game of the year, or of round 1 I should say. What the heck happened to Carlton? Just because you lose one player doesn't mean that you should be losing a game to a team that was predicted to be a 0 or 1 win team. Like, that was what they were predicted. I think I went them being, I even have it on here. What did I have them predicted? 2-21, and they got 1 win already. So I predicted Carlton to win this by 45, and they were up by, 41? It was 48-1, or 48-7, sorry, I should say, not 1. But yeah, Carlton just fell apart, legitimately fell apart. Richmond went on a 75-21 run. 75-21, and they're projected to be the Wooden Spooners. So I was 58 points off there, which is a horrific pick, which meant that my season started 0-3 for tipping. But then, this was a really good pick, because I said Hawthorn by 27 points. They won by 26, and I think I added this late in on the video, which you may have missed, but yeah, Hawthorn by 27 points I said. They won by 26, so I was 1 point off there. Finally got a start there. Then, Geelong, I said by 18. I thought Freo would be really good this year, but I thought them having the trip over would stuff them. If you look at three-quarter time, I was only like 6 points off. They were down by, I think, 24 at three-quarter time, but then the last quarter it was 10-1. So, in the end, I got the tip right, but did I really get it right, though, predicting the blowout? Then, Sydney. I kind of knew this was going to happen, but I didn't think it would happen in the manner that it happened, with yet another kick out from deep inside defensive 50 that gets chopped off 40-35 out from goal, and the set shots that effectively won the game from Dunkley. Brisbane I had by 12 and they won by 4, so I got that tip right. Sydney, they're actually, if you think about it, their midfield, which is the oddest thing. If you actually look at it, they're winning the stoppage points. The stoppage points they've won, I think, by 5 or 10 points overall. But they've lost the defensive forward score origin points, 103-49 or something like that. So that is the big problem with Sydney at the moment. Western Bulldogs against North Melbourne. I said North by 10. I didn't think Western Bulldogs could have 8 guys out, still have an interchange, no interchanges for the last 5 minutes of the game, and win this one. But they did, because Ed Richards is a gun. And again, North Melbourne have a real problem with getting the clearance and not doing anything with it. And that big problem is actually slightly caused by Tristan Cherry, which, although he gets it out there quite a lot with a lot of hit outs and stuff like that, he tends to butcher the ball by foot and by everything else. If we actually, I just want to quickly look at, let's look at the likes of, I can actually do it through here. It's probably going to be better through this one here. Look at AFL Home, look at player stats. I want to look at 2024 and just look at Tristan Cherry in terms of show all, because I want his, and then I want by filter position by ruck, and then I want to go by disposal efficiency, and then see where in the world Cherry's down at 67%. For disposal efficiency, if we look at kicking efficiency here, he's also down here, We look at handball efficiency, he is well down the list. And that's the big problem I find with him, is that his disposal efficiency isn't up there with the best. And that if we look at clangers per game, he's second for that. Turnovers per game, he's, fourth. Disposals per turnover, he isn't in the top of, he's middle of the ground there. Disposal per clanger, he is one of the worst, it looks like, actually. Let's just see that here. He's one of the worst for disposals per clanger. So, yeah, and some of the guys below him, really, it's only Mason Cox, Riley O'Brien, Stanley Draper, and Briggs Grundy hit net. So he's about halfway for that as well. So a lot of his actual efficiency stats, he's about halfway. And so he gets a lot of it. But also, if you actually look, and then the final one that I want to show is the hit out win percentage. If we look at that, he again is roughly about halfway for that as well. So a lot of his stats, he just gets a lot of quantity of stats. And his only real good stat is his tackling. And aside from that, it's not really his last year's stats. Advantage, let's look at this as well. Again, he looks not even in the top 20 for hit outs to advantage. If I look at what is he actually hitting it out to advantage at, 25%, which is well down actually, on another 3% down, which puts him in up basically the same as Marshall, which there was talk about Marshall having problems with hit outs to advantage, and that's why they got Boyd. So the only worst ruckman for hit outs to advantage is Oscar McInerney, Bailey Williams, and Blickards. And if you look at those guys, in terms of their, I want to say, where's the disposal efficiency? It's well over here. It's down here. If you look at the guys down here for disposal efficiency, I think it's here. Blickards is about the same. Bailey Williams has worse disposal efficiency, but he's him. So does Oscar McInerney, and Rowan Marshall is around the same as well. So it's definitely intriguing to see the disposal efficiency of these guys and how they actually rank in terms of everything. So that definitely is the one thing that I'd say about him, is that's what North are struggling with. But anyway, I've just spent 5 minutes on that. But North lost. Their midfield as well, I just don't think they have the composure compared to other midfielders. But I am worried that Cherry is getting the stats but not actually helping too much in the ruck department, compared to some other rucks that do it a lot more efficiently, I would say. Collingwood against Port, they smacked them. I said by 18, they won by, 89, 90, is that 81? 91, I think. 90, we get 135. 91 points. I had a mental breakdown there, but 91 points there. Adelaide, I had by 21, they won by 63. Melbourne, I had winning by 9, and they lost by 3. That was a kick basically with 40 seconds left, which would have got the win there. And then Gold Coast, I had by 16. Wow, West Coast looked pathetic, put it simply that way. So, now we move on to round 2. The game tonight, Carlton against Hawthorn. I'm picking Hawthorn. I think Hawthorn are the team this year. I genuinely do. I think that they've just got such a well-balanced side at the moment. They know their game style. And that's one of the most critical things. They know that they need to just get it to ground in the forward line. And that's what they're going to do. I think Hawthorn win this game against Carlton, who do have their guys back. I think they win it in a close one by 16 points, to be honest with you. I see them probably just... Carlton, I just wonder late on in games if they're going to be able to run it out. Collingwood against Western Bulldogs. Western Bulldogs just have way too many guys out, I think, to really be able to challenge. No Bont, no Treloar. Jamara's got his problems. Who else have they got out? No Cleary, no Liam Jones, no Waitman. They've just got way too many guys out, I think, to really be able to challenge. So I think Collingwood win this game by 19 points. I do think Collingwood came up against an easier side in Port Adelaide, who folded, whereas I don't think Western Bulldogs will fold as much. Then we get Essendon against Adelaide. Adelaide, I think, actually are really doing well, and I think Essendon, the problem with Essendon is their just efficiency. It is, again, like I said with North, a lot of these sides are getting good numbers around the clearances, but then doing nothing with it. If you actually look at this, and I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that with in terms of the Hawthorn-Essendon game. Look at this. Clearances. Essendon had 50 clearances. Look at this stoppage game. They had, 19 more clearances, yet from the stoppages, Hawthorn won by 6. That is the critical error there. Why is a team, and look at this centre bounce, 25-2 point scoring. They can win all the ball that they want. Who the heck cares? Look at that. And I'm going to just quickly show you this from the North Melbourne perspective as well. North Melbourne won the clearances by 6, stoppages by 14. They lost, and the centre bounce by 6. So those two teams are winning the centre clearances, winning the clearance battle, still getting smoked out of the stoppage because they're not efficient enough. And that's the big problem. And that's why I'm going Adelaide, because Adelaide, I'm pretty sure, they absolutely dominated St Kilda. And if we look at their scoring source stoppages, if we actually look at it, Clearances, they won by 4. Stoppages, pretty even, but they won the centre bounce as well. And their forward half pressure, I think, is really, really good. Whereas if we look at Essendon as well, their forward half pressure, there actually wasn't too bad, to be honest with you. But yeah, I just think that that the likes of Adelaide will win this on the road at the MCG, and I'm going to go Adelaide by 11 points. Port against Richmond. I'm actually tempted to go Richmond here, but I think Port bounce back at Adelaide over. They'll be pretty fired up, I think. And I'm going to go Port Adelaide by... I think this will be a shot, a little bit of bringing back down to earth of Richmond. They don't have Tom Lynch, so their avenues to score. I know that Tom Lynch didn't kick any goals, but he's more of a presence, and it's going to be a learning curve for Harry Armstrong and those guys, Sims and those guys up there. So I just feel like Port Adelaide will have the strength there. Geelong's going to win that at Marvel Stadium. I'm pretty confident in saying that. I'm going to go Geelong by 35 points. No major injuries for them, and they just look a lot better, I feel like. Yeah, Brisbane's going to win that against West Coast Eagles, pretty much in a canter. I'm surprised West Coast at $13 and not more, but I said that last week with Richmond. Brisbane being $1.02. Wow. I'm going to go Brisbane by 56 points, to be honest. I think that they just go and absolutely maul them. North Melbourne against Melbourne. This is the problem with North Melbourne at the moment, is that they're coming up now against a side that has a player in Petrarca and also Oliver that can stream out of stoppage, can win the clearance regularly. So if Melbourne can actually level the clearances here, this could be so damaging for North Melbourne. So I'm going to go Melbourne here, and I'm going to go Melbourne by, I think, 30 points here. And then Sydney Freo basically to end the week. Oh, wow. This is a tough one. I want to go with my boys Sydney. Freo, they have Bolton coming back, which is going to be so bad. Wits is going to have the Bolton matchup. Oh, that's going to be so hard to watch. But I'm going to back the boys in to come back strong here. I think Sydney head into the bye. They've been actually surprisingly all right. It's just their turnovers that they need to really limit. And I think Bice can actually really help. Another really good by foot, and I think it pushes Florent up the ground. And I'm just hoping they don't have as many turnovers, because I can show you this. I can show you the stats, the underlying numbers here for, where is it? Sydney, Brisbane. Look at this. So Sydney, the clearances lost by 6, won the stoppages, lost by 6, but won the centre bounce scoring. The turnovers, Sydney actually won it, but the forward half score origins 52-28. Defensive half, Sydney were dominant there, I would say. So yeah, just this forward half turnover back-to-back weeks for Sydney needs to improve, and that's the big difference is, I think, in the forward half, the turnovers there are deadly for Sydney at the moment, and that's what they're doing. So I'm going to go Sydney by 13 points, I feel like. So that is the tips for the week. If you guys did enjoy this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. If you are listening on Spotify, give me a rating and a follow over there. And I'll see you guys back here tomorrow on Friday for my review of the Carlton versus Hawthorn game, Supercoach and fantasy-wise. So I'll see you guys then. Bye, guys.